Hello. This week's episode of the 80s Twilight Zone contains The Beacon and One Life Furnished in Early Poverty. And it starts off with The Beacon, which is the stranger story of the two, and the one I think has the most sort of punch to it. And it starts with this doctor who arrives in a town. And when he looks out over the town, that's just a green screen effect. They have drawn in a town and they didn't use a matte painting. They have him green screened and put him in. You can see sort of the outline of him. The man who tends the lighthouse is, of course, Martin Landau, who we've seen before, even in the Twilight Zone itself. He was in the Jeopardy room of the 5th season of the classic Twilight Zone. This wasn't actually the original opening. It's supposed to have the doctor talking to a state trooper or policeman about how rural this area is and how you don't want to get, in trouble. And then that got cut for time, I'm guessing, for the DVD release. So it was aired, but it's not on the DVD. Weird choice. When the beacon is shining across all the houses, that's a model shot. They didn't build a set with a, towering lighthouse on it. So they just built the lower part of it for the close-ups at the end. But instead have a model setup, which works well enough. It's such a short clip that it doesn't, detract from anything. So Teddy is played by Antonio Ribisi, who we've seen in A Million Ways to Die in the West and Avatar. And My Name is Earl and Friends. He does a good job in this, I think. He was just a little kid at this stage. He was like 12, 13. He does well. Weird wig, but that's fine. We don't get to see the doctor die, of course. It's just a crowd that slowly crushes him. And some people are still holding up their lanterns. It's a bit weird. Then we move to One Life Furnished in Early Poverty, which is a lot like Walking Distance, the very, very old Twilight Zone episode that we've seen before. This has a helicopter shot of a town in Ohio where he goes to visit. I don't know which town it is, but it's a helicopter shot that they made. Harlan Ellison, who wrote this, he's the guy who wrote Paladin of the Lost Hour. And as I mentioned in that commentary, Harlan had also flicked a cigar into a litterbug's car. And he put that in the episode, or in the story. Same here. He used to bury toy soldiers. So that's a thing. Barbara Tarbuck, who plays Mom or Sarita, she actually died of Jacobs-Creutzfeldt's disease, or what is most commonly known in livestock as mad cow disease. Very scary death, I guess. There's a production bit where he catches a ball in front of a window. He already has the ball in his hand and just moves it into shot, so he doesn't actually catch a ball there. If the wrestling scene between Mr. Rosenthal and Gus would have been shot today, it would have been shot very differently. There's a great big sort of awakening to the idea of child molestation and stuff like that, and you don't see it anymore portrayed like that in modern media at all. The predestination paradox is interesting because it talks about how you, in trying to dissuade Gus, causes Gus to become what he becomes, and the idea of causing the problem while trying to solve it. It's an interesting paradox, and we can see a lot of these throughout sort of modern literature and films and stuff. Now, what would you tell a younger self if you had the chance? Now, I personally know what I would say. I have a passphrase, which would identify me as me to me. And I pretty much know what I would say that wouldn't upset the balance too much, but would still manage to convey something positive to a younger self and make my life choices slightly better, I hope. It's an interesting sort of mental puzzle to work at. So next week is Her Pilgrim Soul and Ive Newton, and I will see you then. Take care now. Bye.